Hi, we are with Mr. Prince Joseph, or rather, I'd say Dr. Prince Joseph, who is Group CIO for SFO Technologies Private Limited, Nest Group, and he's going to talk about the data security landscape. So, without much ado, let's get into a quick chat with Prince. Prince, hi. First of all, a very warm welcome to you at the Digital Tech Conclave. Please share some of your experiences so far. How you like them, David?
Thanks, Pooja. I think this is my second, if not third, visit to the Digital Tech Conclave. One thing that I'm really happy to see, which is very consistent, is the amount of effort you put into the execution. The planning that goes into it, the care that goes into it, the execution by the core team. I think that's very heartwarming to see, because you want to see the same kind of attitude and culture in your organization who you're working with. So that is something which I really relate to and I applaud.
Thank you so much. Prince, you have seen a lot of transformation happening within the industry, and data security is one area where the industry is definitely witnessing a lot of changes. Why do you think data security is really important today?
See, the history that I have with transformation starts with trying to bring processes to be changed, trying to bring in best practices. The whole approach and philosophy has changed with the digital era. Digital transformation took over. Right now, digital transformation, it's a mixed bag. We can see whether using the same term again is still meaningful or not. But a differentiator now with the evolution and the explosion that's happened in the cybersecurity risk area is something that we cannot ignore. To me, if I have to continue in business, I have to stay on par or be at a place where I'm going to be able to give my customers confidence that I have this in hand. It is handled, it is taken care of. Without that, it is impossible for me and my group to stay in business.
Right. So you think data security is completely important?
Absolutely.
What are some of the existing trends that you're noticing around it, and what are the future trends going to be like when we talk about data security?
I think the biggest one is to keep a handle on the data. So we have processes where we try to apply security across layers. We try to apply data processes where we classify data and we try to treat it differently. But the bottom line is data is in the way once it's classified, there is also one aspect of it which is linked to intellectual property. Now, you might be generating intellectual property, which might be code, which could be designed, which could be elsewhere. But if you're working as a supplier or a contractor or a person who is rendering services to an entity who is much bigger than you, who is probably a Fortune 100 company, could be aerospace and defense company, could be a healthcare company, what they give to you is so precious in terms of the IP that we have to have very solid and robust mechanisms to make sure that what we talk about, data at rest, data in motion, data in use, all of these areas are handled, are controlled, are also managed in a way that we can at any point of time give them the visibility that this is what's happening with their data, because they're entrusting that with us. Now, when we talk about crown jewels, this is the crown jewels. Now, how do we protect it? We have to throw everything we have at it to make sure it's done. So one of the things that almost becomes a qualifying factor for us when we start getting into these bids and getting into these executions is to look at the elements that we put in terms of physical, cyber, and all the other layers that needs to come in together to offer this.
So going forward, that is the area where companies will really have to focus on. What are some of the challenges that are really existing within this space?
So the biggest one is, there are many perspectives you can have. One perspective from my seat is, I have too many people offering similar things. That is one. The ask from the customer is something which I can look at it and say, well, this is how I can understand it. And when I have 2-3 customers asking similar things, I'm able to put some sort of a common grouping around it, and I can approach it with a plan. But solution providers confuse us, which is not a good thing, but they use similar technology or similar terminology, similar words, and they say this can do all of this stuff. Now, it becomes our responsibility to really work through it, be diligent. You can't discard the due diligence part. Apply all of the knowledge that you have, map it to your requirement, your customer need, map it with value, map it with with something that is going to give you a good sleep at night, and then bring it together. There's no point bringing all the brands in, all the logos in. While we do look at, is the logo a good one? Is it something which is garden leading? Do they have product which is proven? All that is good. But there are places where you can't really come to a point saying, I'm going to have one product that does everything, or I'm going to go only for best of breed. You have to have something that fits your business operations.
Absolutely.
And it is not going to be simple as well, because we also have a complex operation.
I think I'll have to agree to that. You have to map it to your requirements, to the customer's requirements, and have an understanding of what you are really getting into. Thank you so much. On that note, friends, for speaking to us.
Thank you.